Hello everyone, this is Mr. Elba running here again, and it's time for Let's Learn Zangief. Now, Zangief is actually one of the characters I was most intrigued to play after we saw the new characters, like Manon and JP were all amazing, but JP was nearly up, did I say JP? I mean Zangief was really up there with him. I'm not usually a big grappler guy, especially such a intensely grappler focused kind of player, but Zangief, his model just looked so amazing, his attacks just looked so satisfying, and he is just so damn cool. Overall, as a character, obviously, he's very built around command and grabs. Basically, every move he has is some form of grab, which in a Void, in a different game, would have made him a pretty crap character, but luckily for Zangief, he's part of the Street Fighter 6 cast, which means he has access to a plethora of tools that actually make his day a lot easier. His gameplay becomes a lot less frustrating and less focused on just going in for grabs because he has access to all these really awesome Street Fighter 6 tools like a drive impact, a drive rush, a drive parry for walking in through projectiles. He just has a lot of tools that he would have been pretty dead without. And with the access to these tools, it gives you some kind of universal feel for every character, so I can try out Zangief without being a massive grappler person and still have a chance of winning, because as long as I counter other people's drive impacts, go for my own drive impact at the right time, you have a decent chance of winning, and going through projectiles with your parries and stuff, he really has a lot of cool options, and a drive rush for a grappler is just, of course, a nutcase idea, and I love it. And of course, it gives him plus frames and so many stuff. So cool. Anyways, I think we should get into it. So in the video, we're going to talk about his strengths and weaknesses, his buttons, combos, and general game plan and stuff. And then we're going to take what we've gone over and learned and actually try him out online for the very first time. So let's start off with his buttons. His lights are actually really good, and they're perfect for a grappler. So they're decently long reaching, like both of them reach far longer than a regular character's crouching lights or standing lights would, which makes sense because he's a big boy, he's got big body parts to swing at you. They are kind of both good at different things. The crouching one is good on hit, and the standing one is better on block. And what do you mean better on block? Well, they are both actually plus on block. Crouching is +1, and standing is +2, which is very rare in this game. He is the only character, I believe, with plus on block light attacks, which is super amazing because you know what that means. That means if the opponent is ever just, walking around and you poke at the opponent, there's always a threat that the command grab is coming straight afterwards, and there's basically nothing they can do about it. Particularly if you use the standing light punch, which is +2, this is inescapable. Of course, by mashing, they have the option of jumping and stuff too, but plus on block normals for a grappler is so crazy and so much fun, and it really opens up a lot of opportunities because that means you can stagger your pokes and walk in. It just makes your strike throw potential ridiculously good. So whenever you are going for your light pokes, I generally like to go crouching light punch into standing light punch. So if they're blocking, well then I'm +2, then I can go into a more guaranteed grab. But if they do get hit, then I'll just do a few crouching jabs, because you can see that is +6 on hit. This one's only +4, which is still great, but +6? Are you kidding me? That means I can go into an unmashable standing medium punch. I can go into any of my mediums, even like this medium string, and there's just nothing the opponent can do about it. And going into medium is obviously very useful because he's got this medium attack string, or it lets him go into, some more heavy hitting buttons to go in for some kind of combos. And yeah, plus on block normals or extremely plus on hit are just, of course, amazing. And because this one is +6, as long as you have this tiny littlest gap in between the poke and the throw, inescapable all of your throws, which just means every time you go for a poke, whether it's on block or on hit, of course, Zangief is always going to be fishing to dunk you into the ground, and the opponent has to be constantly looking out for it. Makes the fact that he can stagger them a little bit so it can catch people trying to jump or trying to mash, or they're just so good, and you can use them to go into strikes or go into throws, and going into strikes is actually surprisingly good because of how good they are on hit as well. They are just godsend. And also, they're so plus that you can do kind of like the Daigo special off of all of his lights, where you like drive rush cancel off of them and get a combo. Which, yes, costs a bit of meter, but for a character like Zangief, who otherwise doesn't really get anything off of his pokes, unless you're really close, you can get like this sometimes. Being able to get a drive rush into like a full extended combo, into a knockdown that lets you go for scary stuff, is really, really powerful. And I think I should move on, because everything I talk about this character is going to be like, yeah, this guy's crazy. And moving on to his light kicks, these are also crazy. So his crouching light kick is actually his fastest button, and probably makes it one of the best crouching light kicks in the game, because as you can see, 4 frames is extremely fast, but it also has great range. Just like your crouching light punch, maybe slightly less. But for a crouching light kick, this is so fast, and it's 4 frames a low, which means anytime you're like staggering strike throws, it's actually really good to start with this one, because if the opponent's ever just trying to back off because they don't want to be close to you and they're trying to like walk away and like get out of stuff, this will catch them, because obviously it catches walkbacks. So you can go for this into this, and then, this into this, or then your plus, then you can go into your mediums. It's just such a good button, and as you can see, you can either chain it into yourself, and it is 0, which means you can just do it and stagger it into itself, or just go into a command grab. Will of course work a lot, and on block it's also pretty safe, I believe. Oh, he's not blocking anymore. Yeah, only -3, so really not that bad, which also means that on block you can kind of chain it into itself and go for a sneaky grab every now and then. Note it is -3, they're expecting you to chain 3 or 4 of them together. A stagger into a grab will obviously work. The same applies for your lights, by the way. You can actually get like 4 lights linking together, which is pretty rare, depending on how close you are, but getting all 3 consistently from like even not right in front of them is a pretty strong power. Now his standing light kick, unfortunately, does not add into these chains of lights. He can link all of his other lights together very easily, but standing light kick, that is not the case. It's also 7 frames, so it's a bunch slower, but it is pretty long reaching. It's one of his best like long reaching pokes, even like with more range than most of his medium attacks. This thing is fast, long reaching, it doesn't hit low, and it also isn't plus on hit, unfortunately, but it's just his fast, please stop moving around this distance where I want to grab you kind of move. And what's good about it is that it can be also drive rush cancelled into the same Daigo special we were just talking about. So it's very fast, great poke for in the neutral, probably his fastest, you know, light, or his fastest decently ranged poke. Like other ones like this are okay, but they become a lot slower as you go up the ranks. So just this one to easily throw out, and it's drive impact safe because it can be cancelled. It's a really good thing to just poke around here. And on block, as you can see, it's only 1 frame more minus, so it's like no worries. With all the pushback it has, you're fine. Now, standing medium punch is one of his core moves, you could say. 9 frames, and if you keep pressing medium punch, it leads into this whole target combo. If I have him stop blocking, as you can see, it does 3 hits and knocks the opponent down, plus 27, which means you can dash in and you are actually close enough to get like drive rush loops, unlike off of your throws where you're not able to do this. So I can keep doing this over and over and over again until I feel like going for a command grab. So that's obviously very amazing, but I did have to put the opponent off a block after first hit, because as you can see, the first 2 hits don't naturally chain together. They'll only chain on counter hit, or off of a drive rush, of course, where you have the extra frames, but that's fine. That should makes it something that you have to fish for. It's like kind of your hit confirm tool, because this button on its own, really good. 9 frames, a long reaching poke, reaches kind of similar range to your standing light kick, and it's a medium, and because it can lead into this target combo, it has the potential to lead into a lot more damage and a great knockdown. Great for a grappler. Not so much for other types of characters, but for him it's really awesome. And it just makes it so that after you drive rush, you go for this button, and if you see it hits, well, you can easily go into the whole attack string. You don't want to do that if they block it though, because it does become very minus. The first 2 hits can be kind of safe if you are far away, it's only -6, but just definitely don't do the full thing. But also if they block it, so if I have done the full thing and then I drive rush in with the first hit, I can leave it at that, and I'm +2, and depending on how close I am, +2 means I'm gonna grab. So this is kind of his button that sets up his entire game plan, because either it'll hit an opponent. Oh yeah, also, because it is so far reaching, you can really use it after your +6 poked, so the opponent cannot mash out of this. If I get him to reversal, hit reversal. If I get him to go even like crouching light punch, which because he has such long reaching buttons, even at ranges like this, most people's pokes won't reach, but if they did do some longer reaching thing, even if they could, I can hit them before they can hit me. Counter hit, and as you can see, the counter hit goes into this full attack string, and then he has to block this. And if he blocks it, I can go for strike throw, and if he gets hit by it, obviously, I just do the full thing and loop again. If he blocks it, go for strike throw, hits by it, go for the full thing. Oh, he blocked it this time, strike throw. Really, really good. It's like his entire game plan can kind of be summed up to this one attack and its attack string. Also, even if you're not using it after a drive rush or on a counter hit, stop doing that. That's annoying. Even if you just do it like this and the opponent like does block it, it's only -2, and at this range, -2, your buttons are kind of a lot better than theirs are most of the time. So I can even use, depending on how close I am, like my crouching light kick, which is my 4-frame button, a lot further reaching than most 4-frame buttons. So at -2, at a lot of situations, I can beat them with my 4-frame button after this. So even if they block it up, not after a drive rush, it still can kind of be my turn. And especially considering the fact that I can keep doing it on block, I can just do this and even go in for the grab because they might expect the rest of the attack string to come out. So I just keep doing this, and then, oh, they got hit by it because it's only -2 or 3. So I can just go into pile driver, no worries. And of course, they can choose to mash after they block. In which case, if I did do the follow-ups, then I can continue to do the follow-ups, and then they get knocked down. Bob's your uncle, we're back into the same loops we were doing before. So it really like is everything in one. It's a block pressure tool, it's an Oki tool, it's just like a strike throw tool if they block it, whether it's drive rush or not. It's a good way of catching people getting counter hits, it's your hit confirm, it's everything. It's amazing, and I just really suggest you make sure practice doing all of your options off of it. So pressing it on hit or block into command grab, on hit after drive rush or counter hit, do the whole thing and drive rush into itself, just so that these inputs become like muscle memory to you, because hopefully you'll be going for them a lot if you're winning. And yeah, that's that attack string. Talked about it for a little bit long, but it is super useful, so I thought it was worth it. Crouching medium punch, a lot less interesting, but still a good button. 8 frames, so decently good for him, and it has good range. The game does say that this is kind of his whiff punish tool, which does make sense. It's fast and, decently long reaching, so if Jamie whiffs his kick or something here, I can just smack him, get a punish counter, drive rush cancel. Get a simple combo like that going. Pretty cool. Or just go straight into my spinning lariat, because you can do that a lot more easily off of my mediums. And basically this is just his main cancelable normal, kind of just like a medium version of his light kick, because, this maybe has the potential to be unsafe to drive impact. Generally it's safe to it, but this is totally, because you can cancel it into a drive impact, cancel it into a drive rush, whatever. It's just his cancelable medium, so throw it out a bunch. It's good for pressure, good for combos, and good for safety. And he's also got this command normal where it's down forward diagonally with medium punch, and he does this little gut punch, and it's only 7 frames, so really fast, and is kind of just a main way he'll go into a lot of things, because it can really easily go into his lariat. And as you saw from all these combos I've done so far, I just do some buttons into a drive rush, into a button, into this, into the lariat, because it's the most consistent thing that combos into it. And that even counts for some like big cool juggles we get. Like if I got something like this, you use it in combos here as well, just because of how good it is. So you can use it to go into your level 1, since it's level 1 hits aerial opponents. And it can also be an interesting way of going into aerial combos like this, where you go into the aerial OD Borscht Dynamite. That's pretty cool, and it can be used for that as well. So it's basically your main combo filler, because it's not too great on hit. So I think it's not a punish counter, it's like -1 or something, yeah. And only it is safe, but not too much use on block unless you really want to push them away, but I don't know why you would want to do that. Maybe it's really useful if I want to do this. No. Never mind. Yeah, it's combo filler, leave it at that. Now, medium kick is just again a simple poke. Frame data is not too bad, +1 on hit, -4 on block. So pretty standard, a little bit slow, but for the nice range it provides, and considering he's a grappler, a good poke like this is, yeah, really, really handy. Good range, decent frame data. Yeah, throw it out. Lock your opponent down for trying to do some weird stuff, catch them jumping or mashing from over here. Nice button. Scratching medium kick is unfortunately not the best. As you can see, its range is not anywhere near, or maybe just slightly worse than your standing medium kick. Luckily, it's 9 frames and slightly plus on hit. Some characters don't have that, and it's also totally safe on block, so you can just mash on this, and even if they block it or get hit by it, you're totally fine, and it does leave you not too pushed away, so you can go for a command grab if they do get hit by it, and even if they block it, may as well still try and dial it in. But yeah, it's okay. Unfortunately, it's not cancelable, but I didn't expect it to be. It's you know, just your low poke to catch them walking away if you want to do something a little safer than the sweep. Now, he also has some command normal from his medium kick, and that's forwards medium kick. Now, this is probably, people would say, is probably his most important command normal, apart from this, because it's just really good for combo filler. But this is his best command normal to get his general grappler game plan going, because it is kind of like an alternate version of his dash. See, his regular dash 22 frames, this is only 34 frames, so it's a bit of a slower dash, but it brings him a little closer. And while it happens, I mean, it's also a dash with a hitbox, which is very useful, and it's got a lot of active frames. Basically, it has a bunch of functions, and it's a bunch of ways to just get close to your opponent and enforce your strike throw. So one of the main ways you'll see people using it is like using it around this range where it only slightly whiffs, and then while the move is out, you can easily dial into your command grab. If you do have problems dialing into your command grab, by the way, this will just make it a lot easier because you can dial in while the move is out and you won't accidentally jump while you're trying to dial it in. So that's kind of handy. If it does hit at the very peak of it, you can become plus. By the way, I think I measured a good way of getting it at its max range. If you do a backdash around start, then jump. As you can see there, it hits kind of delayed. You take a little extra step. There we go. Now it hits super late. And when that happens, you become +7, and you can go for like your pokes or your standing light kick. I think something good would be just try and go for your crouching lights, because you don't want to like commit too hard into trying to go for confirmed into your lariats or your punishable. So just going into your light poke, because if it's on block, well then you'll be plus, and if it does end up being on hit, well then you're super plus, and you can go for strike throw. Another thing that's really good about it is because he jumps, it is actually a low crush as well. I'm not too sure how I can practice this, but maybe if I get him to do a crouching medium kick and I make myself really plus. As you can see there, I go over his crouching medium kick, I become +4, which, you know, isn't great for combos, but great for strike throw. So it's a low crush, it's a way of advancing in the neutral with a lot of active frames, and if you hit late in the active frames, you can combo off of it. Just do be careful if you use it super close. On hit, it's fine because it's 0 and your buttons are decently good, but if they do block it when it's up close, it can become punishable, especially if you use it really, really close. But as long as you space it out even slightly, you should be fine. See, even there, it become +2 on block. I wasn't aware of that. After 2 of my standing lights, that's pretty awesome. What about 3 of these? Okay, that's still -4. So it seems like it's either decisively plus or decisively minus. Yeah, that's pretty cool. After 2 of these, or I can just whiff it and go for a command grab. That's pretty cool. And not only can you dial in your command grab, you can dial in your level 3. which is something I physically cannot input normally on the ground. You have to do from a jump or something like this. This is a really, really good way of getting in close to your opponent. If it hits them, you start mashing on things, but you can also just be spinning in this, and if it whiffs, then they can't escape if they haven't jumped. So it's a really cool button, really cool way of getting in on your opponent. And of course, you can also add a drive impact, just makes its frames on hit or on block even better. And yeah, it's a good button in your neutral. Just do it, go into a command grab, that's basically it. And it'll go over lows, so handy dandy. Right. Now, yeah, heavy punch is also kind of interesting because, as you can see in the little frame data bars down here, it's got 4 purple frames, which means that it has 4 frames of armor on it on the regular version. It's +3 on hit as well, and it leaves you pretty close as well, which of course leads into a command grab. And yeah, interesting. It's also safe on block, I believe, if you just throw it out. Yeah, so only -3, so pretty good heavy punch, if I have to say. It decently plus on hit, so you can go for other buttons afterwards. It has some armor frames, so if the opponent does happen to hit you in those little 3 frames, it will have armor. But the thing is, oh wow, it only has 1 if you really tap it. The armor is affected by how long you hold it down. So if I really just tap the button, I can even have like 0 frames of armor. But as I hold it down, it gets more and more frames of armor. So the whole time I can hold it out and get 28 frames of armor, or maybe that's 26 or 5, depending on the startup. I'm not sure how it's counting that, but you can get armor from it, which means that when you're in neutral and stuff and you think your opponent's going to throw out their medium kicks and stuff and poke you from this range, you can be like, nope, I want to get a punish counter on that. If I have Jamie go for some kind of wake up something, I think it even can go through a drive impact. As you can see, I armor through it, so I ever think they're going to go for a kick or something that's just a single hit, because it's only a single hit of armor, unfortunately, I can just armor through it and pretty easily get a punish counter. But if it is something like a little kick, you probably don't want to hold it down the whole way and only like just armor through it and then release it, or else they'll just be able to block it. But what's kind of cool is even if they do block it, please block it, becomes +3 if you fully hold it. I don't know if it changes like smoothly, depending if you like half hold it, becomes, no, I think it's either -3 or +3. So it's one or the other. So either fully charge it or it's -3. So obviously, yep, +3, moves in close to the opponent. You know exactly what we're gonna do after that. So pretty cool. A button that you might be trying to abuse a lot, thanks to its armor. It can go through drive impacts. And you can also just use this, like if you're in a poking wars where the opponent tries to poke you a lot because you go for command grabs, you can go for this and like your plus, and then you go armor through their pokes and knock them down. And if you do get the fully charged one, you're plus, and then doing the shenanigans. Seems pretty handy. Fortunately, it doesn't really go into anything though. It just, if you do the fully charged version, it does knock them down though, which means you go into our game plan with the medium punch we're already talking about. Actually, that seems like really good Oki. I take it back. It does seem pretty good on hit. But I imagine, yeah, it only happens if you fully charge it. Which is pretty slow, but we'll see if it ends up being useful. Maybe even like after a sweep, I can use this from a distance. Yeah, from like sweep range. Instead of walking in and getting close Oki, where I can be thrown or something, I can just charge this up from afar. That could be kind of cool. And also, it's a long-reaching button that I can use after my command grabs. It's basically the only thing that'll connect slightly meaty, and as you can see, I'm +8 here. Unfortunately, I'm not too close, but I can go for some like walk-ins, go for it again, and if the opponent does block it, I think I'm +1 after a drive rush. Yeah, +1 after the regular version, so they either have to respect that because it hits decently meaty depending on when you time it, and also I guess I have the option, if they are respecting that, you could either dash in further and go for a command grab, or hold it down and become +7, which you can just do a tiny step forwards into a long-reaching command grab and kill them for, or just go for a longer-reaching strike like this. Cool. Nice heavy punch. Now, crouching heavy punch is a little less useful. It's basically just an anti-air. Actually, whoa, it takes them off their feet even on the ground. So even if you mess it up somehow and they land, you still get to push them away and get some Oki. That's pretty cool. And it's actually a pretty decent anti-air, a little bit slower than some other crouching heavy punches, 12 frames instead of usually their 8 or 9. But it hits really high, so if you hit someone, like, you can hit them out of the very peak of their jump, which is pretty cool. And unfortunately, you don't get anything off of it, even if it is like a counter hit, because it isn't cancelable into anything. But you'll smack him out of the sky, get a nice knockdown every time. It doesn't even have to be a counter hit, which is pretty nice. That's what makes it good. You get the knockdown that you need to go for your shenanigans. And yeah, it's a good anti-air for a grappler who makes you scared to jump. It also seems like he kind of moves forward when he does it. So I wonder if I do it like from this range, maybe... I wish I could make him jump backwards. But let's just like, if I do a few pokes and then he jumps away, or like 2 pokes and they try to jump out of my command grab. Yeah, that will actually hit them out of the air. That's kind of cool. But the thing is, if they do end up blocking it, very, very bad. We also have a forwards heavy punch with our heavy punches. This is another one of his key normals, and because it's actually one of his like bigger plus normals, at least in +4, it's only 14 frames, which is reasonably fast for a decent ranged plus normal. It can also combo into your crouching pokes. Depending on how close you are, you can combo that into a lariat or an EX lariat. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but you have to be at a nice close range. Otherwise, of course, +4, go for a grab. And yeah, it's just a good normal to use after your like jump-ins and stuff. If it combos, you can go for these kind of combos you were doing before, or just go straight into a lariat, because you can cancel it as well. So if you want to do it a little bit more simple and you know you're hitting your opponent, you can just do that and get the nice knockdown. Easy peasy. And if they do block it, well, you plus. And we throw. And yep, that's that normal. It's pretty good. It's decently reaching, plus unblock, and of course, because it's cancelable, it's one of your safer buttons to use. A lot of things he does, they're a bit slow, maybe drive impact, it's a bit scary. This one, not the case, because you can cancel it into a drive impact. If you see they've drive impacted as you go for it, just whoop, easily react back. Pretty good normal because of that. Nice range, good frames, good plus frames, and cancelable. Love it. Now, heavy kicks. Standing heavy kick, interesting. I could be used as a long-range anti-air, but it is just a little bit slow. I guess it's similar to this, but I don't know. From a long-range anti-air, you really want to make sure you hit it at the right time. It becomes a little hard to time when it's so slow. But as you can see, it does have a pretty decently high hitbox just to hit them out of like only slightly past the tip of their jump. So if people are jumping at you from like this range for some reason, you can kick him out of the sky, and it does seem like it knocks him down, so I wonder if I can combo to my level. Nah, it's too slow. But you knock him out of the sky, then you get a nice little chase down afterwards, and it hits on the ground, like if they are just blocking it. It is technically +1, but it's not something I would want to use kind of on the ground, because it... Damn, I didn't mean to do that. It very often will whiff. You have to be right... Oh, okay. It doesn't even hit if you're right in front of them. So, yeah, kind of don't press this button unless it's... Oh, wow, even after a drive rush, then they don't have the expanded hurtbox. Okay. Don't use this button on the ground, really. It doesn't seem worth it, unless you know they're standing somehow. But also, if it hits as a punish counter, like either you hit someone out of the air or just use it as a punish, it has the big punish counter juggle effect, which means that at a lot of ranges you can go into your level 1 for just a nice simple chunk of damage from a simple punish counter. Gives you a use for your super meter. Or you can also, if you're close, go into these combos we were just doing, and also including... Whoops. I believe you can also do this. Yep. Which does... maybe the same or more damage as your level 1 super, but you don't even have to use the super. Actually, off the super, you can also do this, right? Oops. I find this really hard to cancel for some reason. It's just so fast. There we go. So, yeah. Cool punish counter button, but other than that, it's kind of just a long-range anti-air. Now, We've also got a few command normals off of this, but I guess let's talk about the sweep first. It's 12 frames, average startup, but it's I guess it's also okay range. I don't know, it's just very unsafe that you really have to make sure you use it at max distance, otherwise you die. But even a lot of characters at max distance can punish this if they're ready for it. So it's not a tool that you certainly shouldn't use, because a long range low that knocks the opponent down is of course going to be extremely handy. Just catching people in footsie ranges, knocking them down, and then you get to run your game plan because of it is, yeah. So it's kind of a high risk, high reward button. Gets you straight to what you want, but it has the potential of being a flop. And that kind of goes into the other option that you have, the long range overhead, which is a bunch slower, but also a bunch more ranged. And this is just kind of makes it so he has these 50-50 options when he's in this neutral range, where he's, you know, usually throwing around kicks like this, but you can also go for a low or a really long reaching overhead. And unfortunately, as you can see, they're both quite unsafe. If I use it really point blank, minus 12, so you have to make sure you space this out. It can actually hit around round start distance or even slightly further. So honestly, it's kind of like a button you can use in neutral when you're around this range, instead of trying to dash in and go for stuff like this. If that's honestly the range you can go for just this move. So you can catch people walking back and forth or trying to crouch or do anything. It also has a pretty decent anti-air hitbox, so you can throw this out from a long range and you may be safe. If I have him blocking, yeah, minus 11 or... yeah, and I can space it out a little better than that, so it could potentially be safe. But just the fact that it's a really, really long reaching button is super handy for him, which means it's kind of something you could use after this without even really doing a drive rush. Yeah, I just need to do a tiny step forwards and this actually hits, and is actually minus 9. So there we go, we're actually becoming safe. Nice. And also, just like our standing heavy kick, this one also leads to a juggle. Fortunately, our sweep will not. It'll just lead to a nice long hard knockdown to get some something, but this bounces the opponent if hits on punish counter, so we can go into this simple combos we were talking about. As you can see, even just that, a button into lariat is a lot of damage. I don't think there's any point going for an EX lariat. Oh yeah, wow. So you're plus 52 for a ridiculously long knockdown. So yeah, doing a regular lariat or that lariat is amazing because you can just dash up for free even without drive gauge because of how much plus frames that is. And it's just a really juicy amount of damage. And of course you can go into level 1 or something, but yeah, that's pretty amazing. So fishing for this, and maybe because once again, just like your forwards medium kick, this also goes over low. So if Jamie has done some kind of crouching medium kick, as you can see there, punish counter, get a big juicy combo. So good for going over lows, especially when you're in this range. People are going to be using long reaching, crouching medium kicks and stuff, and if you can go over it, get a punish counter and get all this damage for free, and a nice knockdown, big win. Big win. Unfortunately, you know, it is so long reaching that there will be ranges where you can't really get any buttons off of it and extend combos at all. But as you can see, if you look at the frame data, even if we get this as a punish counter from super far, the frames on this are plus 42 on hit, which if you know Street Fighter 6, that's the magic number for safe jumps. And given a big boy like Zangief's safe jumps is a pretty scary thing. So if I jump in, I can go for my jump heavy kick or jump anything or jump heavy punch. And as long as I just time the jump ins correctly, I get a safe jump from this. And even though I don't get a combo, getting a safe jump as a big boy like Zangief is arguably just as scary. So make sure you do that. If you're not going to get a combo, go for a jump in into safe jump, strike throw, whatever you like. Now, he's also got a third command normal, or a second command normal off of his heavy kick, and that's diagonally down forward heavy kick. And this is another low crush. So if Jamie is once again going for a crouching medium kick or crouching leg kick, whatever, jump straight over this, and if it does crush the lows, you'll get a punish counter, and if you're anywhere near the wall, like, you don't even really have to be that close. They get roll all the way over to the wall, and then they're pressed up against it, and just like a bunch of other of your heavies, you will be able to get this command normal jab into a lariat afterwards. or a level 1 or a double hitting OD lariat. So really good. Once again, I think this is actually one of his best low crushes because he really picks his feet up off of the floor with this one, so it can crush some more things than this, I imagine. And this is a little bit slow to get off the ground, so if you really want to crush a low and you're in neutral like this, you can really kind of use this like Guile's stupid low crush and just jump up. But do make sure that you are using it thoughtfully because once again, unfortunately, is very, very minus. And this is on someone in burnout, so yeah, minus 18. I don't think there's any way you can space this out to make it safe, so use wisely. Even a drive rush is not going to help you here. It's just a really last hope low crush. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, and that's all of his normals finally. He just has a lot of normals and a lot of cool stuff he can do as oh wait, I missed one. He has another target combo with I don't know how to say this, but it's down medium kick, which sounds like the input for a special move, but nope, this is just a normal. And he has another target combo where he can just keep pressing medium kick afterwards, and he does these 3 kicks. And this works kind of in the opposite way as our standing medium punches, where the first hit doesn't combo to the rest, while the last hit of this one doesn't combo off of the first 2. So the opponent can block that. But what's different about this one is that it is actually special cancelable. So I can drive rush, drive impact, do special moves after it, or supers, whatever I like. So there's a lot more potential for sneaky stuff happening after this, but also it's 9 frames. So it's also one of your buttons that you can use off of your plus pokes to just like stomp on the opponent. The first hit, -3, second hit is also pretty safe at -4. So you can do both of these stomps. And if the opponent is blocking it, you can do the third stomp and then go for a drive rush cancel if you feel like it. And then go for strike throw off of the drive rush. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. So you can kind of use both of these attack strings on block, and they kind of work in the opposite way, where if you use a standing medium punch, you're just aiming for the first button and like seeing if that works. If it does connect as a counter hit, you can do the full thing. If it does hit, you can go for command grab, or you can maybe sneakily do it on block as well. But then this one's kind of the opposite, where you can do 2 stomps as like the default option. So the opponent is expecting the 2 stomps, so it's actually a bit more useful for you to do 1 stomp into a command grab, because they're expecting you to do the 2 stomps by default, and only use the third one as the weird extra option. Which of course you can, you know, mix up into a drive impact afterwards or whatnot. It's just a pretty interesting stagger tool. And also, because there's a gap in between the second and last hits, you can catch people kind of trying to mash, which could make some cool combos with drive rush or whatever. But yeah, it's an interesting command combo kind of thing that I would like to try out and use a little bit more than just always constantly using this. And then as for jump-ins, like most characters, jumping heavy kick is his kind of goat jump-in. It reaches really far horizontally compared to some of his others. A kind of deeper one is his jump medium kick, and for a cross-up he has to use jump light kick, I believe. The other ones don't work at all. Yeah, light kick is the best one for that. And if you want like a kind of other heavy deep jump in, that's what you jump heavy punches for, because you can hit them from pretty high in your jump and you become hella plus. And other than that, the rest of the jump ins, not too much. Jumping light kick, as well as being a cross up, is really good air to air, because it's got a lot of active frames, and it's also very fast. So you can just hit people out of the air with this, and then, you know, you both land back on the ground, you go for a command grab. But also, his jump heavy kick can be charged. So if I just jump, and you have to do it kind of really as soon as you jump, if I start pressing it now and holding it down, as you can see, it takes so long to charge it doesn't actually come out, which could lead to some sneaky stuff. Someone's expecting this thing to come out, and then you actually go for a command grab instead of a jump in. That could be pretty sneaky. Or even just go for like a jump in, and then go for some lows. But if you do hit it, and you do press it early enough, as you can see, fully charged, it blasts the opponent full screen, which doesn't seem too useful because you have to really like drive rush in and you can't really get anything meaty. In the corner, you also don't really get much, you just slightly plus. So it doesn't seem like the best tool normally, but it does become really badass it does hit as a punish counter. So if I jump over some projectiles or something, and I know I'm gonna get a punish counter and I go for this, you get this massive wall bounce, and you can easily combo off of it using your diagonal down forward medium punch, or 3 MP. And you can go that into a lariat, or an EX lariat, or the bombo. Big boy bombo. And yeah, that's pretty satisfying to combo to get if you jump over a projectile. And those are all of his normals. Also drive impact. You know, it's not the best drive impact, it's a little less ranged than some others, but come on, giving a grappler drive impact is of course going to be amazing. It gives me something to do in this range other than using my long range pokes. I can armor through my opponent trying to do things, and of course just having this ability to go to this combo starting armored safe thing is going to be a massive useful thing. And his drive rush is actually also surprisingly good. He travels decently fast, faster than Manon and further than Manon. So using this in neutral can be useful as well. Just do be careful if there's projectiles. You have to either jump over them or go into another parry, or maybe a lariat or something, or just block them, because unfortunately you can't press a parry after a drive rush, or else, as you can see here, I'm pressing parry but I just go for my medium kick. So walking forward into parries is the better option against projectiles, but if you do think you have a little bit of time, just try it. Okay, my OBS crashed, and I think that's a sign that I have to move on to special moves at this point. And I think we'll start with the lariat, because it's kind of the most simple of his special moves. It isn't just a full-on grab. It's basically his only normal special move, and even it is kind of not normal, because you input it by just pressing two buttons, two punches together. So I just press light punch and heavy punch usually, or medium punch, heavy punch, because that's easy to do on a controller. And as you can see, I press it and he starts spinning. You can actually change the direction as well. I can hold forwards or hold backwards, and you can see he kind of drift in that direction. So if I use it from here, it doesn't hit the start, but then the last part will hit it. As you can see, it actually has a bunch of active frames, total of 5 of them, which, you know, normally they won't all connect. You just hit one of them and then you get the knockdown. It's a good knockdown, by the way. You're left really close to the opponent. You don't even need to go for a drive rush, and you get your game plan going. So anytime you can end a combo in this is like really, really good. Most of the time you're not going to be in a range that it really works, even like off of your pokes. A lot of the time, like here in training mode, it works pretty often. Usually if you do some pokes, you're not going to be in the range that it kind of connects, or if it does connect, it'll connect late and then you're left super punishable. Doing the OD version does kind of sometimes become more consistent, but I still wouldn't just throw it out for no reason unless you know it is going to connect. So for example, if I'm doing a combo, like, of course, I can use it there, or if I've gotten a big punish counter, I also use it to end combos like this, because it leads to a bunch of damage from a super simple combo, and once again, it's a lovely knockdown. Now, the 5 hits can kind of be useful. Like if I do use it and it doesn't connect, there is a chance that the opponent, when they try to punish it, they accidentally run into it and they get hit by one of the last hits. That happens kind of a lot. And also, if you pay attention, you can see those orange-white bars at the bottom here. That's actually projectile invulnerability. So this thing is actually really projectile invulnerable. It only takes 6 frames to become projectile invincible. So you can actually do it pretty easily, and it's projectile invincible for a super long time. So you can like spin through 3 projectiles if they throw them like DJ does his double projectile. You can just spin through the two of them pretty easily. But just do be careful, because as you can see, it has 27 frames of recovery, so throwing out in neutral is not advisable unless you really know you're going through projectiles, and even so then, may as well just go for a parry, right? The OD version, the projectile invincibility starts up in 2 frames, so it's a little bit faster, but once again, it's still very minus, or just has a lot of recovery, so a little risky. What's kind of cool about the OD version is, see, I don't know exactly what's different, but generally you get 2 hits from it because of the way it hits the opponent. So if I do use it in a combo, I'm more likely to get 2 hits. I get maybe a slightly better knockdown, but also in juggles, it can lead to some interesting situations where you get like the 2 hits at that maybe aren't in a row. So see, I hit the very last hit there, and then the knockdown I get is just monumental. Plus 52, I can dash in twice and still be a bunch plus. It's really cool. It means you can like auto time your safe jumps or something depending on what you do, like do a whiffed button into a safe jump, or just like delay jump and you get a safe jump from them. It's really cool. And also, that means that if I do something like that in the corner, which also works off of a drive impact, I believe. So if I just do this simple combo here, it's so plus that I can actually jump in the air and go for my OD command grab in the air. And get this really cool extension from a blocked drive impact, mind you. All that damage, it did cost me 4 bars, but from a blocked drive impact. I will take that. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. But yeah, that's Lariat. It's a simple combo ender, and it'll either give you an okay knockdown or a great knockdown if you do the OD version, but just make sure that it is ending combos, because it is very, very minus and very hard to keep safe. If you can be gimmicky and kind of do it so like if my opponent blocks it, they get hit by the first thing and then you kind of try and walk away so they whiff their buttons for their punish, but they can, honestly, most characters can drive impact punish it, so just be careful. So that's Lariat, pretty cool. It is only normal special move basically. The rest of them are different types of grabs. And I think let's start with the obvious one, Spinning Pile Driver, or SPD, or just grab. So this thing is technically a 360-degree input. So as you can see in the bottom of the screen there, when it says I execute, it's like success, you did a full 360-degree input into a punch, and I got the command grab. But that's actually not what you do to get this command grab. Of course you can, but if you do try to do that, you're gonna jump, obviously. So the secret to doing this is actually just to cheat and not do the full circle. You can actually just do a half circle, so forward, and then all the way around to back, and then just press slightly up, so like up backwards, just slightly up, and as you press up, you press the button. So it's like you just slightly accidentally went a little bit further than a half circle, and you get this. So you can basically just treat it as the exact same input as Manon's command grab, which a lot of people have a lot easier time inputting, but you just go accidentally a tiny bit further, and then you easily get the command grab, and you don't flail yourself across the screen trying to get a 360-degree, 360-degree input. It really isn't that hard. And you can even do it in the opposite direction for some reason. You can even start backwards and then do a full half circle to forwards and then up forwards. And that also somehow counts as a 360-degree, even though it's in like the opposite direction. You're going anti-clockwise, but they're still like, nah, seems like a full circle to me. You did some round stuff and then went slightly up. That's good enough for command grab. So make sure you're going for that when you're going for command grab. Otherwise, you're gonna have to, if you are trying to do the full circle, you have to do something like that and whiff buttons or go for a jump in into it. And you don't want to be doing that all the time. There are times where you just want to go for your command grab, and you can do it on the ground using this technique far, far easier. So if you have trouble doing command grabs, practice using that technique, and I think you'll have a wonderful time. Yeah, and how the throw works is, unlike Manon, whose like startup and stuff changes, Zangief's command grab changes damage depending on which button you press, but it's always 5-frame startup. And it changes damage and changes the distance at which it hits. So if I'm right in front of the opponent and I'm really close to them, I'm always going to do the heavy version, because they're all 5 frames, same frame as a regular throw, and it'll beat regular throws. As you can see, it does a nice big chunk of damage. So I always want to go for the heavy version if I can, but if I am further away and I'm like around this distance, I'm going to go for my light version, because for some reason it can connect from that far away. And I'll just do the heavy one to show you. At this range, the heavy one is just not going to whiff. It's like the exact same animation, just for some reason it won't whiff, and I have to go for the light version. And the medium version is just in the middle. It's like average of the damage and average of the distance. And the OD version is just like the long range and the big damage. I think it's even more damage than the regular version. So it's a really, really big buff you get from spending meter on it. And basically, I think 3 pokes can connect into the light version. 2 pokes, can go into the medium version, and a single poke can go into the heavy version. That's kind of a general way of thinking about the distance that each of the grabs hit, because if I do 2 pokes, there's a chance, okay, the heavy version can actually reach after 2 pokes. Maybe, what if I do this? Yeah, that whiffs, and what about medium? Okay, so crouching into standing light works for medium, but not heavy, so then you can see the difference between those 2 layers. But basically, even after 3 pokes, Your light one can connect from ridiculous ranges. And also keep in mind that in this game, if the opponent presses a button, the buttons actually increase their throw hitbox range or hurtbox. So if Jamie goes for a kick or something, I can grab him from this distance. So I could be slightly out of the range, but if I do hit his leg, well, it is going to connect with him and I'll get a nice big chunk of damage. So these throws are obviously the absolute core of your game plan. They're they're 5 frames startup, which means anytime you're plus, like even after this, +6, +4, this can be plus a bunch depending if I space it out. You can go for this, and if the opponent tries to mash, if I have any plus frames, this will basically win. Anytime I have plus frames on hit or on block, I can go for this. Even if I'm slightly minus, the opponent has to be mashing for their life to beat these command grabs. And mashing for your life in this game is not advised, because there's a lot of damage you can get from punish counters and things. So yeah, make sure anytime you have plus frames, either from pokes or like you've plus unblock things like this. So if my opponent blocks my pokes, I can go for a grab there. If I do this, I can also go for a grab. Anytime you're plus or even slightly minus, you go for your grabs. Now that's the core of your game plan, and that's what makes the opponent really try to jump or backdash out of your things. And then that's where the strike throw comes into it, because if they are just sitting there blocking or trying to mash, the grab will hit. But if you do have your plus frames and then you do something else, like my standing medium punch, it'll hit them out of their jump and I will get a knockdown. Or if they do try to mash, I get a counter hit and I can extend it. And if they try to jump, it'll hit them out of the air. That's the essence of strike throw. I can either use my plus frames. Most of the time, I want to go for my grabs. But if I do know that my opponent, they're probably jumping at this point because I've gone for so many grabs, then I'll use my plus frames and then just go into more of my great normals, because he really does have pretty good normals, especially his pokes that are like really plus on block. You can use this like +2 standing light punch and then go into medium punch, or use this down like attack string. He's got a lot of really good normals, so make sure you kind of like bully the opponent a bunch. If you think they're starting to really like try and escape your grabs a lot, just abuse your really good buttons and hit them with stuff. And you know, if you ever know you get a hit, then you get a lariat and then you get a knockdown, which lets you go straight back into strike throw. But even if when you are abusing buttons, make sure you're paying attention to like, okay, maybe they're like, I've pressed a few things now they're not going as crazy, which means it's my turn to go crazy and I can just go straight back into my grabbing playstyle. So playing with a grappler is a constant equilibrium of switching in between striking and throwing, and just really getting into your opponent's head and knowing exactly what they're gonna do and doing the thing that beats it. It's really like 50-50 the game plan. Am I gonna throw or am I gonna strike? Which obviously makes sense from strike throw. I feel stupid saying it, but it's really what it is. So yeah, those are the command grabs. That's the core of your game plan. They're really strong. Unfortunately, afterwards, as you can see, no matter which version I use, I'm left decently far away and only +30, so I don't get excellent Oki, but thankfully, due to the drive rush mechanics in this game, I can actually get some stuff. So I can get a drive rush in heavy punch, and depending on how I time it, it can be actually kind of Oki. It can be kind of meaty. The opponent can't really mash out of that. And I also have the ability to like hold it down, so if the opponent does go for a wake up OD DP or something, I can armor through it and get a punish counter. So that's a pretty cool way of following up after your grabs. Or if they are starting to respect that, then you can just do a longer dash in and either dash all the way in to go for another light command grab, or dash all the way in to go for your standing medium punch. And if they block that, then you're +2 and you can go for another command grab. Or if they get hit by it, whoop, then hopefully you're close enough to get the full attack string and you get a knockdown, and then you can loop it over and over again. And that's the essence of your command grab. You get the grab, and then you try your best to get in onto the opponent and just make them not run away afterwards. So the kind of primary thing is a heavy punch, because it reaches far, is +1 after a drive rush, or can become +7 after you charge it, and can armor through DPs. And then once they're kind of respecting you and not going crazy, then you can drive rush in, go for command grabs, drive rush a little bit further to go for your standing medium punch attack string, and even if they block the medium punch attack string, you can go for a grab. So that's the essence of your strike throw after your command grabs. And yeah, I think that's about all to say about those. You know how to do the input, you know that the light one goes the furthest. That's, yeah, That's the essence of them, and just make sure you chase down afterwards with a drive rush, or else you're just gonna get nothing. Or if you don't feel like spending a drive rush, you can also just do like a little step forward into your overhead, and if you're close to the corner, you can do a little bit less of a walk. But this catches people trying to like dash in forwards or like jump away, especially depending on how far you walk forwards. It can catch people trying to press buttons or do whatnot. And of course, it's an overhead, so there's a chance it'll just catch them blocking low. So that's another good option. Right. Now, what's our next special move we talk about? I guess we have half circle back kicks. Now, as you can see, if I do this just like in neutral, it actually becomes this running command grab with, you see all those purple frames that I have while I'm running there? That's armor. So this move is totally armored as I'm running across the screen. But unfortunately, the run he does is a little bit reactable, pretty reactable, but you are fighting someone that's not adept at fighting Zangief. There's a good chance that you'll just catch them being like, oh crap, what the hell do I do? And they jump at the wrong time and still land into it. So it does work sometimes. What is kind of cool is that you can go through long-reaching stuff. So if a Dalism does a really long-reaching kick, there's a chance that you'll armor through it and still get a punish for it. If someone has kind of slow projectiles, you can armor through those and get them with this grab. It's kind of just like a gimmicky way of getting in on the opponent if they're, kind of being too complacent about the fact that you don't have any options from far away. You can OD it as well, and I think that just makes the armor start up faster, and maybe you get 2 frames of armor. I'm not sure about that. But the one unfortunate thing about the armor in this move, on this thing, is that if you cancel it from a button, you don't get the armor at all, which is a little bit crappy because I thought you could like press this and then use it after a long-reaching poke, and then if they try to counter poke me, well then I get a punish counter grab because it armors through their at a counterattack button. But unfortunately that is not the case. But nevertheless, you can actually use this throw after a button, and because it goes into this running grab, it's not, a fast command grab, it can just be cancelled off of buttons, and he'll run in and catch them with a throw. So if they're not jumping out of the way or mashing you out of it really quickly, you can just catch them after a bunch of pokes. You can even do it like after 3 pokes. So they're expecting that you go for some kind of like medium punch or something afterwards, or like do something, but then you actually cancel it, and they're like, wait, what? And then they get hit by a grab, and then yahoo, you're in. And the Oki from this one does seem to be slightly better. You're left a little bit closer, so you don't have to do as long of a drive rush, which is kind of cool. And if you use it close to the opponent, it actually is just a 10-frame command grab. He doesn't do the run at all, so you can also just use it after, your buttons or your plus frames or whatever, and it's just a solid command grab. Just with a little bit extra range and the potential to have armor when you do it raw. So that's a very, very interesting attack. Now, we've got our 2 main grabs on the ground, the one that's, your core one, and the one that's a little bit gimmicky from long ranges. He also has an aerial grab. So when I'm in the air, he also has a 360-degree input grab, and it's meant to be his SPD, but luckily the developers of the game were actually kind and didn't make it the same put as our regular SPD, because to do the input for the SPD, as we mentioned, you do a half circle and slightly up with the punch button and you get it. But you can, if the aerial SPD was mapped to punches as well, then you would keep accidentally getting this, because you press up and then with the button, and then you'd keep accidentally getting an aerial SPD and not hitting the opponent at all, and that would suck. But they've actually put the aerial SPD on kick, which means you can do the exact same input, the half circle into slightly up with punch, but just do the exact same thing with kicks, and you get the aerial version, because it puts you in the air and you get the aerial version. That is just so sweet of them, how thoughtful. Which means you can actually really easily input this super low to the ground using the exact same inputs, either the backwards all the way to forwards and up forwards, or forwards all the way to up back. And this is useful as either an anti-air, because it's got, a massive opportunity to hit the opponent, and as a command grab, it's 4 frames in the air, so it's an amazing anti-air. So you can really easily jump in and catch the opponent. Like if someone's jumping on you, you can just go kind of just like spin your stick slightly and you'll end up in the air. And it doesn't really matter how you do it because it has such a big hitbox, and it doesn't really matter if the opponent's crossing you up, but you can just go spin, 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 spin. And one of the inputs from the spinning is going to put you in the air, and eventually at some point, I think can you do it from a back jump as well? Yeah, you can do it from a back jump, so it doesn't matter if the opponent crosses you up or anything. If you're like, oh, what are you doing? I don't know, let me just spin my stick and get in, I can grab them out of the air, do a nice big chunk of damage as an anti-air. Has about the exact same knockdown as your regular SPD, but it's a grab, and because you're a grappler, you go for strike throw. Of course, the main option the opponent has to avoid your SPD is to jump. So if I go for my pokes and the opponent is trying to jump out of them, I can go for this, catch them out of the air. And because it's so good and so fast, I can also use it on reaction. So if I see they jump and after I've done my pokes, I can do this and whoops, and clip him out of the air with it. So, which is really satisfying, and that makes you feel like a proper grappler when you manage to execute that. And it's also useful in combos, as we mentioned. Okay, you can stop jumping, please. So after this situation, you can use the EX version super close to the ground, or you can fail. And it can actually hit people in juggles, and as you can see, you can get really juicy damage like that. I think you can also do some cool stuff, like from things like this. After drive rush buttons and juggles, because you have so much hit stun, you can jump and do that, and that's a bit of a bombo for a grappler. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, we've also got our aerial command grab, and I think that's all except for the weird. We've done the lariat. Yeah, the aerial one is called Borscht Dynamite. We've done the Russian suplex and the Siberian Express, which is just the running command grab. And then the last thing is this weird Tundra Storm. So this is a grab counter. Oops. That you input by only heavy kick. Okay, down, down, heavy kick is the only way to input this. So as you can see, it's a very, very long parry that you want to make sure it actually hits the opponent, because then I'm just standing here for almost 2 seconds, like or a second and a half, basically. Just like, okay, please hit something. And all of those 50 purple frames will basically automatically counter any kick that hits you in the range of his hands. So it doesn't have to specifically be a standing medium kick or something, but unfortunately it does have to hit in that range. And it can be other things. It can be specials, it can be even, for example, Jury's Drive Impact will get hit by this. But let's try and show it off. So if I get, like, maybe we make it reversal after damage, and he goes for a standing medium kick, probably. It's the most obvious option. Let's also try his Drive Impact, but I very much doubt it'll work because it's a shoulder thing. Does he have any special moves or unique attacks? Maybe let's try this one as well. And special moves. Does he have any kick ones? Maybe we could try his DP, I suppose. Wait, that's not his DP. Buckeye. Where is his DP? Oh, arrow. Okay. Right. Let's try these. So I hit him. He goes for medium kick. I instantly counter it. Becomes a punish counter by default, I believe. Oh no, just a counter hit. You get a nice knockdown that unfortunately, actually never mind, is only +5. But does a nice chunk of damage. Yeah, okay. That okay is actually really not that good. And, but yeah, it can counter some kicks, which can be really useful in particular situations, and it's kind of something that you really need to know matchups for. Like, for example, Jury's Drive Impact will get hit by this, which means whenever you are in burnout or something and you can't drive Impact back and you're in the corner, you can just go for this parry, and it'll grab her leg from a Drive Impact and parry it, and that is just the coolest thing ever. Also, of course, Daoism. Some of his long-reaching kicks are able to be grabbed by Zangief, where you just suck him in and get a nice big counter. That seems pretty awesome. Let's also test, what's this? Okay. It seems like it can hit overheads as well. I didn't expect that, because the hitbox for the overhead is like only when it touches the floor, but it seems like it works for those as well. So it's a lot more generous than it used to be in the previous game, but it still unfortunately doesn't work on all kicks. Like crouching light kicks and stuff don't work, I believe. Let's try the DP. I wonder if this is pushing it. Nope, okay. DP works as well. So really anything that is just a leg seems to get hit by this. Okay, let's try one more different thing. Wow, I'm actually really surprised it hit that DP. What about like his standing light kick and crouching light kicks? Okay, yeah. Crouching light kick hits too low. It doesn't work, unfortunately. What about the standing one? Did I turn on the standing one? No. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate. So yeah. even though this is a kick, it just doesn't work because it hits too low. But yeah, the thing is, I think it would be really valuable to learn all the things that this can punish, like Jury's Drive Impact or Jamie's DP. So anytime I'm on Oki, if I think the opponent's gonna try and like either mash like some kick button or wake up with a DP, I can just hard counter it with this. But to be fair, it also comes with a massive deal of risk because it is 80 frames total. So if I am wrong, I'm just a big fat fool, which kind of sucks. And now that's all of his special moves. For his supers, they're also a little bit non-normal. As you can see, the level 1 is an anti-air there, which is invincible, but it'll only hit the opponent if they're in the air. And also, it's a little bit slow, so it isn't like the greatest reactionary anti-air. It's more of a like predictive anti-air. So if I hit some opponents with the pokes and I think they're gonna jump, then that works. But if I've like done some pokes and something, and like, oh, he jumped, and I try and input it, it's not going to work because it's so slow and they just land on the ground. So it's really something you have to like, I kind of know that they're going to do it, and then as soon as I react to them going off the ground, I can be like, okay, they're in the air. Let me catch him. And also, it can be useful in combos, of course. If I like hit the opponent out of the air, I can combo using this button. So it can be used in combos as well. Level 2, on the other hand, actually has a bunch more utility, because it is once again invincible in startup. It's down forward punch. So it's invincible for 17 frames, so very, very invincible. And as you can see, that vacuum effect has a lot of range. It's a bit past round start distance, I believe. Yeah, pretty long range. And because he's invincible for so long, that means it's totally invincible for projectiles or anything. So if you ever react to the opponent throwing out a Hadouken or DJ throwing out his, I don't know, ha-has, whatever they're called, or even Guile throwing out a Sonic Boom or placing that slow one, you can just go, oh, level 2, nah, you're dead. And do a big chunk of level 2 damage. And with this level 2, you can also choose what side you did. So as you see, that was a normal one, but I can also hold forwards, and he'll actually drop him on the other side, so I don't accidentally corner myself, or if I am in the corner, I can choose to put the opponent in the corner. After I counter something that they do, I can be like, there we go, you're in the corner now, buddy. Now it's my turn. And there's also another way you can hold the button down. If you just hold nothing and you just hold the punch button, he just keeps spinning like this. And it does far less damage, but it puts them into this really big juggle where you can get some interesting combos afterwards. You can just dash up and go for this button, and you could go into a lariat or something, but you actually have enough juggle that you can go into that button and then get your aerial SPD, or your Borscht Dynamite actually. And it's really not that hard once you learn the timing. The only thing that's a little bit confusing is that you have to wait a long time after your dash to go for this. Like, as you can see, I'm mashing, and it takes so long after my dash to press buttons because he's just got a bit of a slow dash that I kind of messed up the combo a lot. But as long as you're ready for that, it's actually pretty easy to execute and looks pretty stylish after level 2. Or you can still mess it up. It's my talent. So that's at level 2, yeah, really good at anti-projectiles, or even just catching the opponent doing anything from far. If Jamie's trying to drink, and he thinks like this is kind of a safe range, because for some reason, I could just really easily catch people. It's really cool. And of course, you can go into actually a level 1 as well, if you really feel like just going straight into that, but I think you can also do it... Okay, never mind. We're not going to embarrass ourselves and try to do that. You can just go straight into a level 1. But I think doing the combo into Borscht Dynamite is cooler and cheaper. And then level 3 is a double 360 input, 720. Now this one, unfortunately, I do not have a tip of how to input straight on the floor. And the only way that I know how to consistently go into this is off of whiffing a button or jumping. So as you can see, while I'm jumping, I can just be churning my stick, spinning, and as soon as I land on the ground, I press heavy punch, and then he goes straight into this. And if you weren't aware, the opponent cannot jump out of this. So as soon as this flash is on the screen and we zoom in to our beautiful boy Zangief here, the opponent can't jump after this happens. So as soon as you see this animation on the screen, if they're not in the air, they are dead right now. If they're pressing buttons, if they're blocking, if they're doing anything and they're on the floor near you, they are so dead. And the range on this is like similar to the light command grab. It's pretty ridiculous. So it's just such a satisfying feeling when you see, oh, this flashes on the screen, now you're dead. And it does a ridiculous amount of damage, particularly in the CA version. even that was just ridiculous. Also, you can use it after this. When you whiff the forwards medium kick, you just spin your wheel as quick as you can, and then as soon as, you know, it's done, you press the punch button. And let's just look at the damage after a CA. Hello? Where is it? Oh, there. So this is basically just the ultimate gotcha move, and you might think it's a little bit gimmicky, but no, it lands a lot. It's actually a very, very common thing to be landing, because anytime you jump in or whiff a normal, instead of going for command grab, you go for that, and it's just a ridiculous, ridiculous thing. Also, it is really good. You can easily combo off of it, combo into it using a drive impact, because while the animation is in, you can just be spinning. As soon as you're out of the drive impact slowdown, you can just press the button and really easily combo into this, and it's a decent chunk of damage for a drive impact combo. Even though it scales a bunch, it doesn't scale that much. So that's pretty cool. And also, I'm not going to show you now because I don't want to. You can perfect parry and go into this kind of easily, and I don't think it scales much at all because of weird perfect parry scaling shenanigans. Now, that is all of his specials and normals and supers, and I know that took a while, but that's like the core of this character. It's really just about that, because now we talk about combos, and there's not going to be too much to talk about, and then we'll head online. As for combos, like we mentioned, if you are really close, your pokes can technically go into a lariat or an EX lariat, but I don't think I want to go for that too much online, because it's just kind of risky, and if you are slightly out and you're not as close as you think you are, you're so minus. So I think if I do get pokes and the opponent is getting hit by them, I'll just do 2 pokes and use the plus frames to either go for a command grab or into standing medium punch. And that's -2, so I can even do a command grab off of that if I feel like it. And if they are mashing after those, and this hits as a counter hit, then I get to do the full thing and then dash in afterwards. And, or if they do block my low pokes... Oh wait, he is blocking after the first hit. Then I just go into the standing one. And yeah, like if I think they're going to be blocking them, I may as well go into the standing one, so I'm slightly more plus. So then I can, you know, go into a command grab, of course, a little bit more guaranteed. Or also just go for more strike throw. And then, I don't know, go into something else. And just stagger into my long-reaching buttons until they're far away and I'm not in threat of them doing something. But most of the time I want to be using these plus frames to go for command grabs, of course. And then if I ever, like, I can use this and that'll beat jumping. And of course, if they ever do jump, then I can just easily go into the air and grab them out of the air on reactions, possibly. Or just use a crouching heavy punch. I feel like making it easier. And then anytime I do get a command grab, oh yeah, also this can link into crouching light punch and sometimes into a lariat, or I can just link it itself into a lariat. If I know it hits, then the lariat gives me a good knockdown. And basically off of any knockdown, I'm going to be looping the same stuff. So let's just put on to regular counter hits, so that it's like my opponent's smashing, I get this knockdown, and then I get this. And now if they block after I get my knockdown, we go into the same situation we're always going into. We're going into an SPD. And now, after our SPD Oki, basically our option is to either get a kind of meaty, heavy punch, and I can charge it to go through wake up DPs. And once they're kind of being a little bit respectful and not going crazy on my Oki, I can do a little bit of a longer drive rush and go into this, which makes me +2, which I can go for another SPD, or if they get hit by it, because it's a drive rush, they don't even need to be mashing, and I get a counter hit for this to be a full combo. And then I can just loop it over and over again if they're really trying to jump out. And this one actually does catch jumpers, so they can't jump out after this. So if they keep trying to jump or doing stuff, I can just keep looping this over and over again. And until they finally do block it or do something, then I can go for another command grab. And then I also have the option, if they are being respectful and blocking that, well, I can just loop throw into another throw if I do a little bit of a longer drive rush. Also, I can, like, when I'm playing in neutral, think my heavy punch and holding it for the armor to armor through the opponent's buttons is going to be really handy. So it's +3, so if I'm close to my opponent, perfect range for an SPD. And if I charge it all the way, it becomes +7 or gives me a good knockdown. And also my medium and light kick are both pretty good pokes. The light kick's really good because it's cancelable. And forwards heavy punch is also decently fast, plus on block, links into my pokes, and can be cancelled as well, so I'll be safe against drive impact. Also from further in neutral, my options are either like gimmicky run-in command grab, be patient, walk in with parries, jump at the right time. And when I jump at the right time over a projectile, I can get this punish counter combo. And I can also just flail with my massive long-reaching overhead. If I'm close enough, I can also easily combo off of that. And if I am far away, I can also get a safe jump from it, which is pretty cool and spicy. And combo-wise, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, if I get a drive impact, I think we either just go into a heavy SPD for a nice chunk of damage, or if I want a better knockdown, just like, oh, that didn't work. Can I do it faster? Yeah, just something like this, better knockdown, so I can actually get some proper Oki if I feel like doing some more. Actually, I think I'll do that more, because I'll get enough command grabs. You may as well actually get some good Oki sometimes. Yeah. Hidoki, in the corner, if I do get a drive impact, I can also go for this combo, which is really cool. Yeah, so I can do a normal lariat, or I can EX the lariat. And then, why am I messing that up now? There we go. Into this beautiful, beautiful combo. And yeah, like of course we'll have situational combos like this on a punish counter. This we mentioned just always goes into that. And also if we have a drive rush, we can also just go drive rushes to a button into that down forward medium punch to a lariat for the nice knockdown. And that's kind of like the simple stuff we're always going to be going for. I think the main part is that we focus on just doing our looping and routing correctly. The combos we get, you know, aren't going to be too amazing unless we do get like a really nice juicy punish counter or something, or drive impact. So as long as we're going for command grabs at the right time, going for strikes and throws thoughtfully, I think we'll be able to be a bit of a menace. Oh, and also in neutral, level 2. And I think that's all we're gonna need to know. I'm not gonna aim to go for this too much unless I really feel like it. Maybe if we're playing against a jury, I'll try and use it against her drive impact, but we'll see about that. Anyways, I think we've rambled on long enough, and we've left you lusting for Zank. Wait, what's the phrase? Never mind. We're gonna play online. I'm looking forward to it. See you there. Oh crap, that was so fast I wasn't even ready. Okay. We're playing against a Chun-Li, and I do actually have a few points with Zangief because I did try to play him like on day 1, but I was on Wi-Fi, and so I'll call these my first games. Right, okay, let's stop talking and actually think about what we're doing. So if she throws a projectile, I can try and do this. Okay, she's ready for it. Okay, first grab in. Oh, nice. Oh no, she's in the air. Oh, that was not needy at all. I didn't even get the button out before she pressed the button. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. Pokes into grab. We got that. We did, the Oki routing was maybe not so good, but hey, we're learning, we're learning. Okay, after she blocks that one, I should just try and go into a command grab afterwards. And also, if she's blocking so much stuff, I guess that gives me more room to go for more grabs. Oh, okay. I wonder if my parry would have parried that. She's nearly in burnout. Just block something. Oh no! There we go. Okay. We're doing some Zangief stuff. It's not flawless, obviously. Who thought it would be flawless? But we're doing some stuff. We got some grabs in. I think maybe I should focus on actually spending some of my super meter this round. I didn't spend anything. But you know, we're just trying to learn the game. Let me be. Okay, I think I should focus on hit confirming that. Pretend I'm playing Mano and I'm hit confirming heavy punch. Yeah, that is really, really minus if anything happens apart from getting hit. Okay, nice. No! I'm trying to grab her out of that, but that's a little bit risky, huh? Okay. Okay. Yeah, run away. I'm not sure how to hit. I don't think if I can hit anyone out of the air from that, unless I maybe do a jump. Okay. Hey! Oh my god, Daigo special. Thank you, Lord Daigo. Your techniques have saved me endless times. Okay, I didn't get punished. Cool. Ouch, that should have been a punish, but thanks for not punishing me. I should probably be parrying these so I don't lose any drive gauge, but I think I've got enough that I don't have to worry about that too much. Damn it. No, that was meant to be level 3. Let's go for it now. No, let's fish for it. Oh my god, that is so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. I love that level 3 so much. Because as soon as you see that dramatic flash on the screen, you know you are about to beat their ass. This guy's too cool. Is this my conversion to grappler hood? Okay, blocking overhead a bunch for... Oh no! There we go. Can't be whiffing jumps from accidental flopped command grabs like that. There we go. I keep using the light SPD because I'm at ranges where that works, but maybe I should try and do the OD one so I just get really juicy chunks of damage. Yes! Knockdown, thank you. Oh! Yo, Chun-Li, could you have some more life, please? I just did the OD punish counter. Like, please. I wanted to see that damage. Okay, she's doing a lot of blocking overhead, so I guess I should walk up and go for my sweeps a bit more. Oh no! That was a flop. Don't talk about it. Yes, please, I will take that. Nah, too far, but that sucks. That really, really, really is annoying. Oh yeah, wait, that's not a punish counter on the first hit, so it's not gonna work. Throw a projectile, I want to use my level 2. Yes! Yes! Oh! I've never played a grappler, so I've never had these rushes of feelings. Blood, I mean not blood, glue running through my veins. I can see how you guys get addicted to it. It's a feeling like no other. Oh no! Oh, nice. You're mashing after my plus frames? When I've got a 5-frame grab? You're risky, lady. Now that's the grappler special. Now we're in. We're not in. I should have gone for my heavy punch there. That would have worked. No! I used the heavy version there. I should have used the light version and it would have connected. Okay. Learning experience, we can call it. Every mistake, look at their frozen matches. I have an excuse for everything. Okay, she's blocking that overhead a lot more than I expect her to. Okay, Yeah, but luckily that means she gets hit by that low a lot. Oh, too far, too far, too far. Should I wake up with my level 3? Is that too deranged? I'm gonna do it. Oh my god. Oh my god. That wasn't my back, that was my chair, I promise. Oh my god, this guy. No, okay, I can't armor through that. What if I try to armor through one projectile? Okay, she's ready. I just want to test things, you know, see what works. Oh wait, I thought I had that round. That's why I was being so stupid. What? Oh my goodness. My bad. Is that the grappler game? Is that the grappler brain? Sorry? Is that what y'all are talking about? You get infected with after playing grapplers for too long? Oh, damn it. That kind of sucks that the follow-ups are so not as long-reaching as the last one. Let's just get the grab. I think we're kind of close to the corner anyways. Oh! Oh, damn it. Wow, that was such a long knockdown that... Yep. You pressing buttons on my Oki? I thought it was a little obvious that I would have gone for a grab there, that she would have jumped and I would have died, but hey, I suppose not. Oh, get me out of it. What if I try and lariat through these? That was risky, but it kind of worked. Oh, yes. I am almighty. No, heavy version. I think I should just stick to the medium and light version because I'm not good at spacing them particularly, so... Ow, ow, ow. Is that punish? No, I'm gonna get punished instead. Okay, not very much. Actually, I can use my down kick against her a bunch, probably. Oh my god! Sorry! That is just too fun! What is this character? Ouch. Practicing perfect parry with this guy is probably really important. Walk into it! Walk into it! No, she punished it. Okay, let's not do stupid stuff. Let's actually try and win. Sweep. Oh god. Guys, that YOLO random parry that actually worked. The amount of dopamine that surges through me and my controller after doing that. Holy crap. Grappler brain. Grappler brain. Grappler mindset. Oh, okay. Tried to go for some goofy stuff, but she said, no thank you. We're not doing that today. Okay, that's also very risky. But hey, she's always blocking... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. She's always blocking high. This sweep seems to be putting in some work. Thought she would have mashed in between those hits, maybe. Oh! No! No, that was meant to be an aerial Borscht dynamite. But my inputs kind of fumble when we're in a real match. Yeah, I forgot. My standing heavy kick could be used when she jumps from really far. Not that she's been jumping too much, actually. Yeah, I used the light version there, but I probably could have used the heavy, but anyways, no worries. Oh, damn it. I should have done that a little bit later, I guess. Because my punch already came out, and then... Oh, okay. That was maybe a little bit hopeful. Okay, okay. Let's see the combo. Into level 1. Oh, just level 1. Oh, no. Ah. No! I didn't hit it meaty! I didn't hit it meaty. No. My Oki routing is holy. There's gaps. Why? Oh my god, she's blocking so many overheads. How? I guess she's just walking back and forth and stuff and, you know, not really aiming to block them anyways. Run in. She just did a drive impact. against me, who's going for grabs all the time. I thought that was too risky of an option to even consider. I'll take that, thank you. I think that's the end. No, what? Now she throws a projectile. I can level 2. I thought she did something, I swear, I swear. Oh, that's a slightly different version of that combo I haven't seen before. Thanks for messing up. I probably would have lost that round otherwise. Okay, GG's. I've been enjoying this kind of longer set for learning, but I think we'll change opponent now. GG's Chun-Li, thank you very much. Okay, wow, there are a lot of Manon players. And I guess it's the perfect matchup because you get to practice the grappler versus grappler matchup, see who does it better. It is actually the next day because for some reason yesterday there was a problem with the servers where you couldn't match up with anyone even on the seats. So we're trying again here. Okay, we got footsies. Oh, okay, and we've also got the goddess of anti-footsies. Oh, yeah, that's very punishable. Nice. No! Oh, I missed a command grab. That's embarrassing. There we go. I got the heavy one. No! Yeah. The one kind of crappy thing about having a punch target combo is that even if you are mashing the drive impact button, part of the drive impact is a punch and it just continues the punch target combo. So you really just have to stop the target combo and try and block. And if you want to, you can maybe press drive impact at the very last second, but you have to be careful about it. No, I don't want to get grabbed. Ah! Oh, that was just a full-on punish counter. Damn. Yeah, so that attack string, I guess, really not a fan of the punish counters. They should do some okay damage. It'd be kind of better if we had just a little less life, but whatever, we'll take it. No, damn it, no! Oh, I could have actually cancelled that one as well. Oh, crap. Yeah. I kind of was too focused on running my Oki routes that I forgot that my opponent also wants to do things to stop me from doing them. I think I need to crouch more in neutral so I don't get hit by these random bad thing. No! Are you kidding me? Stupid attack string, I hate you. Maybe we should go for different punish counters like my forwards HP. Nice anti-air. Okay, this is going good. I don't know why I did that. Oh. Yes. Okay. So, honestly, that match may have slightly taught me that I shouldn't rely so much on the medium punch attack string and should maybe go for some other things more. It's still very good in being able to cover every option, but it does lose particularly hard to one option, and it's an option that gets used a lot in this game. And that's a drive impact. So yeah, maybe making more use of my regular pokes and stuff on Oki. Oh no! Oh yeah. I don't think people expect that my big drop kick is actually a restanding jump attack, so you basically get a guaranteed SPD off of it. Oh, hey lag spike. What's that? Kind of put myself in the corner. I don't know if that was worth it. No, it doesn't reach far enough. And now it's killing me. Okay. That was slightly better. Because I think we learned from our last game, we can't rely so much on that medium punch attack string. But luckily, I do have a bunch of other great buttons, just like any of my light punches. Even my light kicks, I should have used a bit more. Still don't think I used them either. We got things to learn, but we're still doing okay. We're winning. Okay. Cammy. Once again, I don't think this matchup is too bad, so we're being a little bit lucky. She wants to be close to go for her combos and stuff, and she might run me over when I'm on defense, but at least she's not running full screen like a little someone maybe known as JP. So we're fortunate for that. Got it. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, mashed me out. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see if this works against her. Oh, no. I think jumping against Hooligan, once again I haven't fought too many Camis yet, but I think jumping against it works kind of well. Like, as long as you can get out of the way of that dive kick in time, like, I don't think any of the options really hit you. That was meant to be a sweep, but I forgot we have a button on down forward. Okay, she's being very patient, but that's probably not a great thing, because that means I get more of these. Okay, she's beating a grappler. Damn. Zangief's got just such good normals and such strange and weird properties on his normals that people just don't know how to fight him. And she said, no thank you, we are not doing that.
Here comes a new challenger.
And we go straight back into another Cami. I feel like this game really, really likes to run rematches, or just everyone is playing Cami and Mano.
Beginning operation.
I'll take on all of you. Round one. Fight.
Oh, that was not meant to be an aerial burst of dynamite. Okay, she's mashing, that's good. Oh, 2+. 2+ for the grab. Oh, is that plus? No way, I think I just pressed something really slow. Yeah, you can run away, but I know you can't do anything from full screen either, so it's fine. Okay, I'm glad she mashes so much. Because that means I get a lot of these counter hits. Let's go for the flying overhead. Oh, she was ready for that. A lot more ready for a big, long overhead than I expect them to. Oh, that doesn't count as airborne against throws? That's really interesting. Okay, I definitely do not know how to fight Camis. Right, well I guess that's what she's meant to be doing, moving around in really weird ways, but staying close to mix you up and just play wacky. Gotta get good, gotta get used to it. I guess when she jumps I can easily go for lariats and try and anti-air her, but like, I have to make sure it's kind of early, because it's not like it's the fastest option. Oh, thank you for that. No! How did that miss? Poo-poo. Okay. Okay. No, very not okay. Does this work? Hey. Let me just take a sip of glue. Can we get in? Yes. Just barely from the tip of my fingers. Okay. Interesting matchup. Completely different from the Manon one we had, because it's far more holding down her than trying to make the right read. Oh my gosh, she still jumped there. No! Damn it, I messed up. Bro, stop jumping, please. I know I said I would anti-air, but I'm not going to, apparently. Damn, nice. Oh my god, so many dash-ins for grabs. I'm not a fan. Ow! Oh, thank you so much for not blocking. I just did that whole attack string for no reason, but she was just holding up. Holding up, ready to jump. And ready to throw as soon as she gets slightly close. No, ma'am. And as soon as she's close now... No! Damn it, that was a flopped level 3, don't talk about it. Okay. Interesting, interesting. So it did pose a strong problem that she was moving around so much. But then when I got a little bit more used to pressing the right buttons at the right time, actually makes it a lot easier because you get a lot of punishes and a lot of, or not even punishes, just full attack strings because she's holding up. I'll take it. Okay, here's someone new. Back to the originals with Jury. But once again, kind of lucky for me. Her rush down might be a little bit annoying, but at least she's not running away. Should I just go in for my charge jump heavy kick? I do it every time, but it's kind of just out of hope that I get the cool combos. Oh, cool. She mashes after my medium punch. That's very good to know. Ow. Okay, a lot of jumping. I guess I should try to air her. Ouch. No, I was trying to do the... Ow. Damn it. Maybe I should just try doing the aerial Borscht Dynamite. Okay, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Stop trying to be reasonable, do normal anti-airs. Nah, just spin the stick and go for Borscht Dynamite. Okay. That's also really good and gives a great knockdown. Hey, where'd my armor go? Oh, it's also only upper body, I think. No. I'm spinning the stick so hard. I want this level 3. Thank you, ma'am. That's what I wanted. Punish counter. Does that make this do more damage as well? Let's see. No, I think it's about the same. No, that didn't anti-air her. Are you kidding me? Lariat is doo-doo. Okay. I guess she hasn't watched my Jury Feng Shui engine guide. Okay, round 2. Anti-air is still a little dodgy. I got that one aerial grab, but even when I tried to use Lariat, like the EX version, very early, she still just jumped straight over it and bonked me on the head. That was kind of rude. Okay. Now this is what I was expecting to come across and to need to learn from. So here we are. A modern controls, JP? Come on, just give me a normal one, at least, please. Okay. What do we do? I think I'm just gonna jump. Thank you. I'll go for this so I get some Oki at least. Oh, he mashed in there. Okay. Ah! Okay, I'm gonna stop going for this. I say as I go for it again. Oh, I meant to go for the EX Vulture, but I guess I missed one of the buttons. Pressing 3 punch buttons at the same time is a little bit awkward on a pad. What if I do this? Okay, he knows how to deal with it. Just checking, you know. Knowledge check. Ah, what? No. No. Yes, please. Wow, that leaves you right in the range for the heavy? That's kind of crazy. Damn it, stupid attack string, please just work. Oh, damn it. The way he moves after that is ridiculous. Is it a cross-up? Is it not? I have no idea. You just have to pray. I guess I could have parried, but... I don't know, this man scares me. I don't want to go parrying too much. There, I did a parry in neutral, so hopefully that... Ah! Damn it, I can't even parry on reaction against that. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe it's too early. Ouch. Luckily that really did no damage for some reason. Damn it. Oh my god. This is what people don't like about this character! No! Oh my god. No! Okay, this is not going great. It's going actually what I would describe as bad. No, damn it, I didn't get the drop kick either. And my freaking medium punch, I keep using it at maximum range, so it just doesn't connect at all. Alright. We need new techniques, we need new approaches, we need new ideas. I think the jumping was working pretty okay. He didn't seem to anti-air too much. Just, I gotta be more patient on defense. I'm not getting chipped out by these projectiles, it's just my drive gauge. So, I don't have to be as worried. Okay, there we go. No! Oh, okay. Yes? Oh, crap. There we go. First round. Done. I don't think we played any better on defense there. I think our offense was just a little more convincing. So hopefully the turns don't table this round. Oh god. Okay. Be patient. Damn it, I thought I could get out of the way of it fast enough. Need to teleport to this one? No. Okay. Oh, you twat. Yeah, I knew he was going for that throw. That's why I jumped at the start, but... Nice. Oh, I thought he was going to go for that parry. I think he was. He messed it up. But hey, what's that? That's 2 rounds in a row. I don't know if you call it adaptation or if you call it luck. That's a big change. From getting overwhelmingly zoned out to actually taking 2 games in a row. Nice. That's learning for you. No! Oh crap, this is the one that you can't drive impact. Oh. Yes, cool. Yes, cool. Burnout. Oh, no, too far. Not far. Okay, not too far. Crap. He's still in the corner and in burnout, so the only natural result. Yes, armor. No. Now he's out of the corner and we have to work him all the way back. No, get there. Get straight back there. No, he jumped. And I wasted my drive gauge. Thank you for that. I think I can go spit in the stick. And what's that? Is that 2 games? Wait, let's see if this kills. But otherwise, that's 4 games in a row after saying, I don't know if I can win this. Zangief said, yes, we can. I've got the body of iron.
Zangief wins.
Oh yeah, that's what I call let's learning. Ooh, yeah. Okay, pretty cool. Certainly wouldn't say we did anything amazing. I don't think we got any of our cool bombos that I wanted to land. But as long as we're running our general grappler game plan effectively and we're getting grabs and stuff, that's enough dopamine for me. But maybe next time we come to this character, which probably is gonna be, you know, tomorrow, I'll try my best to fish for these kind of counter hits and bombos and stuff and get some juicy things going. And I don't think I used any super meter except for my level 3. I could have used my level 2 actually to catch a bunch of JP things. That's a bit silly. But all that is for next time. So, just for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.